Good evening, sir. So let us continue the discussion on PowerShell DSC. In the last class, we have discussed about PowerShell DSC, but we were unable to use any external PowerShell DSC modules, and that is where exactly I'll start my class today. First, let us go and verify if the PowerShell gallery is working or not. PowerShell gallery, right? Now I'll go and search for a module called as Chocolatey. And now if you see, basically there is a module called as Chocolatey. Now if you click on this module called as Chocolatey, okay, it is trying to tell that install module name Chocolatey. Okay, so today I'll be using my own laptop. So let us wait for this module to be installed. It is asking, do you want to continue with the installation? I would say yes to all. Now once it is done, let me execute get DSC resource. So if you see from Chocolatey, I should be getting some more resources that are basically added. Okay, so that is exactly what I'm going to document now. So let me open the classroom notes. Okay. PowerShell DSC 3.m. Okay, PowerShell gallery. Okay, so okay, so from PowerShell gallery, let's install modules or module to maintain desired state on Chocolatey. Okay, there are many other modules we'll be doing. We'll be researching on some of them, but I have done this. So the command which I have installed is, okay, first let me do this. Refer here for the installation. Okay, so I have executed this, and after that I have executed a simple command called as get DSC resource. Okay, fine, sir. Now in the get DSC resource, I will be seeing okay some of the DSC resources. Okay, from the module named as Chocolatey. Okay, so let me take the images link from here. Right, so okay, sir. Now let's use the resources to install Chocolatey and install softwares which we generally use in our DevOps discussion. I want to install Git. I want to install Visual Studio Code. Okay, right. So these two are more than enough for us to start with. Let us try to write a resource for this. So let me go into the folder where I write Windows, PowerShell, DSC, and let me create a new DSC. Okay, Choco DSC. Let me open this with Visual Studio Code. And where is Choco DSC? Right. So let me create over here install softwares.ps1. Right, sir. Now over here I'll try to tell that it is configuration, and we all know that the configuration is not new. Okay, so import DSC. Okay, what are the resources which we are trying to use? Okay, Chocolatey package and Chocolatey software. Okay, resource ps desired state configuration. Okay, or 1 minute, let me go to Google and then let me show you import DSC resource. Okay, so I'll be basically using this functionality, import DSC resources. What is the name of the resource which you are trying to import? What is its module name? And then if you basically look into it, this is how it is written over here. So let me go over here and then write import DSC resource hyphen module. Okay, so you can try to tell that what is your module name. My module name, if you remember from the get DSC resource, was Chocolatey. Okay, so if you remember, my module name was Chocolatey. So let me go over here. Okay, and then from this documentation, if you look at it, you can give module name and you can give a name also. So hyphen name, and I'll be using these 3 resources: Chocolatey software. Let me go here, Chocolatey software, comma, Chocolatey package. Yeah, but okay, whenever I'm trying to write this configuration, I've written this configuration something like this. Okay, and then what else do I need to do? Rest of the stuff is exactly same like what we have done in the earlier case. Okay, you have to write your node. So let me go over here and define something called as node, and here I am hard coding local host. Okay, so I'm trying to tell that run this configuration on the local host. Now if you want to understand how to use Chocolatey software, okay, this is the module name which we have, right? So let me still go to Google and then Chocolatey software DSC. Okay, so you will be getting help. Chocolatey software DSC resource. Okay, so you open this configuration page. This is the community channel which basically speaks about it, and now here he will try to give you all the necessary information about it. Okay, right? So Chocolatey software, this is something which you don't want. Okay, Chocolatey module. In Chocolatey module we have, get into Chocolatey module, right? They have written PSD and PSMs. Okay, and right now we are using Chocolatey software. Okay, so if you basically get into them, they are nothing but PowerShell functions. They are nothing but PowerShell functions. They are very simple to read. Okay, so here. Okay. So if you see test Chocolatey install, okay, he's basically trying to run the commands where he's trying to write test the functionality and all of that stuff, right? Okay. Now without basically looking into it, let us try to write some configuration around it. So I'll be writing something like Chocolatey software. Okay, just like how I have written the other configuration over here. And then in the Chocolatey software, I'll be giving a name. Name is install Choco. Okay, and then I'll be trying to tell that ensure it is present. Okay, so just like how we have written the last stuff over here, I'm trying to basically do the same thing. Okay, this is Chocolatey software. Now Chocolatey package. Let me go with Chocolatey package, and then let me try to tell that install git. Okay, here let me write a name. Choco install git is the command which you would be using. So name equals to git, ensure equals to present. Okay, and after that let me write one more Chocolatey package. Okay, install Visual Studio Code. So name equals to VS Code, ensure equals to present. If you see, we are not writing anything different, but the only thing which we are trying to do is, rather than using the existing DSC resource kind of configurations, we are using third-party resources. Okay, now if you remember, after that we used to call this. Now also I'll be doing the same thing. Okay, so configuration, I have to give the name of the configuration. So install necessary softwares. So this is the configuration's name. Now over here, to compile this, I have to basically give install necessary configurations. Now if you want to pass the computer's name as a parameter, you can do that. Okay, right. Now let me copy the path of this. Let me get into PowerShell, and then let me execute. Okay, /install softwares.ps1. Okay, so we got localhost.mof. Now I have to basically execute start DSC configuration. Okay, hyphen path install necessary softwares. Okay, hyphen wait hyphen verbose. It is trying to tell that everything is present on my system. Okay, so now to test whether it will install something or not, what I'll try to do is, let me go to Chocolatey. Choco install VLC media player. Okay, so let us assume that this VLC media player is something which I want to install. Okay, the command is Choco install VLC. So let me go into my configuration, and then let me write Chocolatey package install VLC. Okay, name equals to VLC, ensure equals to present. Okay, right. Now let me execute, and now let me execute this. So on my system VLC was not there, but now it is present. So if you want to test this again, I will uninstall VLC. Okay, so let me open other terminal. Let me run as administrator. 1 minute, sir. Yes. Choco uninstall VLC. Okay. So if you see VLC is not present in my system now, let me try to run the script again. So after this, if you see VLC is installed. That is how a desired state configuration works, right? Because we will express what is the state which we want, and then we should be able to basically install whatever stuff which we want to do. Now in the same way, there are many third-party resources available in PowerShell gallery. For example, if you want to do anything on SQL Server with respect to Windows automation, so search for a SQL Server, and then over here try to search for DSC resources. Are you seeing XSQL Server? Okay, so here he is trying to tell that you can install install module called as XSQL Server. Okay, so the moment I try to install this, I'll be getting resources. Let me try to install. Yes, I want to install. Now let me execute get DSC resource. Now if you are seeing, there are resources with respect to XSQL Server. Now get DSC resource hyphen module XSQL Server. So if you see, I get this. Now from here I can basically do the configuration with respect to SQL Server work. If you don't want this module, you can use, rather than install module, you can say uninstall module. Right, so now let me execute get DSC resource. Okay, if you see, I'm not seeing the resources with respect to SQL Server. In the same way, you will be seeing resources with respect to Active Directory. So if you remember, we have done some work with Active Directory by creating the stuff and all of that. Let me click on DSC resources. Are you seeing X Active Directory? Okay, so over here there are some of the Active Directory commands, okay, in desired state. Now if you install this, you will be getting that. Okay, yeah, I want to install this. Now let us try to look into the stuff. Get DSC resource. Okay, if you want to be very specific, you can tell that my module is X Active Directory. Now over here, if you see, basically he's trying to tell that if you want to add a computer, if you want to add a domain, if you want to add a domain controller, domain trust group, right? So you can do all of these activities by writing PowerShell DSC, which is much better than PowerShell, because here we try to specify what is the state which we are interested in, rather than really trying to tell how it has to be done. Okay, and there are loads and loads of DSC resources that are present in PowerShell gallery. Okay, so for your work, Okay, I would basically recommend you doing that, but this is something which is interesting and this is something which would be useful for us. Okay, so I've written this simple configuration. I'll be committing that. Okay, so cd dot dot git status. Okay, added sample DSC to install necessary softwares on laptop. And remember, throughout this course we have done only push based configuration, right? So pull is something which we have not discussed, and we will not be discussing in this course. All right, sir. I'll be giving a link of this in the classroom notes. Let me go over here. Okay, so refer this link for understanding what has to be done with respect to installing the necessary software. So refer here for the sample DSC script. Okay, right, sir. So this is exactly what I wanted to show on that day, but for some reason PowerShell gallery was not working. So this is why what I had with respect to Active Directory and PowerShell DSC, whatever we have been discussing for few uh, days from the past stuff. If you have missed some of the classes, all of them are available on YouTube. Right, please ensure that you look into it. Okay, so the applications of this PowerShell DSC is used with Ansible. PowerShell DSC can be used with Ansible. PowerShell DSC can be used with Chef. PowerShell DSC is widely used in something called as Azure automation, where you can create your own Azure automation based workflow which is dependent on PowerShell DSC. Right, there will be getting some Azure related resources. So this is exactly what PowerShell DSC is all about. So this is the starting point of what we have discussed throughout this course, and I hope the sessions were useful. And if you want any further information on that, try to ask on the comment section. I'll try to see if I can accommodate as quickly as possible. Right, sir? So this is what I had for today's class, and we'll be meeting again very soon with some new topics down the line in the curriculum. Right. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your time. This is what I had for this session.